Well, hi everyone. I'm John Ritlin with a retro review of Jennifer's Body. Yes, it's Megan Fox being a vapid idiot, so it's perfect casting. I feel like all I need to say about this movie is it's from Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno, and it's from the same director of the live-action Aeon Flux. And this movie came out in 2009 when Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried were kind of at the height of their careers, though Megan Fox was starting to have some issues because she apparently was tough to deal with. This movie should not be any good at all, and some could argue that it is not scary and it's not funny and that kind of stuff, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I call bullshit on that only because I love this movie. I think this movie is goddamn amazing. It's by no means great. It's by no means even good. But it is schlock. It is batshit stupid. Yet it also manages to find that elusive sweet spot of just being smart enough to know how dumb it really is. If you're unfamiliar with the plot, well, in retro reviews I tend to spoil everything, so I'm sorry. You have Jennifer and Needy. Megan Fox, Amanda Seyfried, who are, and I hope I'm saying her name right. If I'm not, I do apologize. They are, best friends, despite one being popular and super cute and everything, and one being nerdy and everything, and a bookworm, despite the fact she's also really cute also. It's kind of funny in movies like this. Reminds me of She's All That, when they try to make Rachel Lee Cook nerdy and, not all that hot and everything. And oh yeah, Rachel Lee Cook was a goddamn goddess back then, especially. I mean, they really couldn't hide that very well. But anyway, back to this movie. So, it's a horror comedy or a comedy horror or maybe just a comedy, depending on what you have, your taste. And it is bloody, funny, and ridiculous. That's really about the best way I can describe it. The plot, such as it is, has Jennifer and Needy as two best friends that are almost, gay for each other, as some characters tend to allude to, some side characters. But Needy has a boyfriend. Who, they get along with, and of course Jennifer has a lot of boys looking out for her and everything, and despite the fact they have differences, they really do get along well. They've gotten along well since childhood. And then things kind of take a weird turn for the worse because during a girls' night, so to speak, they go see a band called Low Shoulder that has this affinity for wanting to get a virgin all of a sudden. Like, they want to get a virgin for some reason. Maybe they want to get a virgin because they want to have a fun night in their band. No, they actually want to sacrifice this virgin to Satan. So they get Jennifer. Unfortunately for them, Jennifer is not a virgin, and sometime later, Jennifer shows up at Needy's house and is eating stuff and acting weird and everything and vomiting up some weird black goo. And then suddenly people start dying. And why are people dying? Usually boys. And then why is she sometimes all drained and then sometimes full? Oh, it turns out if you sacrifice a non-virgin in a ritual, like this band tried to, you end up kind of unleashing a succubus, as one does. If they studied up on this shit, they would know. I mean, I knew that. I think all you knew that. But this band apparently did not learn their satanic ritual stuff properly. Even though you know what? I'm just not going to get into the whole satanic ritual, details and stuff like that. Everything goes tits up, and basically people start dying. And Needy suspects that Jennifer is doing that, but she's her best friend, despite the fact she's taking a whole bunch of, weird turns, and people are dying, and oh yeah, she's acting all strange and stuff like that, not acting like herself. There are some quotes during this where at one point, and I could not get over this, in the first time where you see Jennifer kill a guy kind of like the big, dumb doofus guy, after this club fire happened where the band took Jennifer away and they decided to, try to sacrifice her in this ritual. Some people died, some people from the school. One was a close friend of this one guy that gets killed in the woods. There was a cross-eyed raccoon. And I mean that either in the sense that they just animated it that way. They had two brown rabbits that reminded me of two brown rabbits that I used to have. Great animals, by the way. They smell bad, but rabbits are goddamn great. And she kills a guy there, and as more bodies pile up, people suspect it's, some serial killer or some animal on the loose. But they never really get into the whole cop aspect. You don't have the cops going out and searching for anybody. You just have Needy, her boyfriend, And nobody else really believes that anything is going on. In fact, Needy's about the only one that believes that anything is going on, because in the very beginning of this movie, you have Needy in this institution where suddenly she's throwing people around, and she's not this quiet, shy, innocent type that you get to see in flashbacks. Well, it turns out that maybe she had a bit of a fight with Jennifer, and something went a little bit haywire, and some of these demonic powers went into Needy. And yeah, that's basically what ended up happening. We get the story told in flashbacks, or the story told in flashbacks. I don't have a clue what I'm saying anymore. At one point, Jennifer puts the whole thing, "I'm crossing you out." It's Megan Fox as a vapid idiot. I mean, what other good kind of casting do you need with this movie? I mean, it's absolutely perfect. It's playing up the fact that she really thinks this highly of herself. And Amanda Seyfried, who was in Mean Girls, and one of my favorite movies of all time, I would argue, easily one of my favorite comedies of all time. I was excited to see her in this. I was also excited to see her in Red Riding Hood. Unfortunately, that movie was less good. And by less good, I mean it was head-scratchingly bad. In this one, though, there were some other good lines. Diablo Cody actually does a pretty good job with, the witty dialogue and stuff like that. I guess it was mismarketed as a horror movie, even though I would argue horror comedy is actually what kind of works. Because yes, you get the typical jump scares and you get the stuff. This is much better than the Aeon Flux live action version. Even though Charlize Theron was perfect, and it was what it was. So back to the movie. At one point after people start piling up, the line is uttered, it's got a huge this town has a huge tragedy boner. Man, huge tragedy boner just sounds like it'd make a great shirt. It would make no sense unless you know, but it just sounds like it'd be fun. And then somebody said, "Oh, well, this band, the band Low Shoulder, the one that sacrificed Jennifer to Satan, they're going to do a charity event." And Needy knows that they're evil, and that 3% of these proceeds are going to go to the victims. Why not the 97%? They're not a good band. It's not all this. And somebody said, "Well, yeah, they are. It's true. It's on the Wikipedia." This was back in 2009 when, internet was really rising up. My God, it's not like it is now. This was 11 years ago. I was 28 years old when this movie came out, and I'm saying this. And then at one point, Needy and Jennifer are having a conversation, and Jennifer looks washed out, and she said, "Are you on PMS? Or are you PMSing?" She says, "PMS isn't real, Needy. It was invented by the boy crazed media to make us seem crazy." And I don't know why the dialogue here made me laugh so much, but it just did. At one point, we get a kiss between Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox. And if you're into that, and I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm not saying I'm not, then, that would be for you. But more bodies pile up and everything. She realizes, shit, I have to kill my best friend before she kills again, because she finds out, what happened, and, oh, you're evil, and yeah, when you're full, you're fine, but when you need to feast, you're just going to kill everybody in this town, including people I'm close to, because you're evil. Even if you try to be my best friend, you are evil. And how Jennifer describes them, the band Low Shoulder, they're basically agents of Satan with really awesome haircuts. Needy's talking to her boyfriend Chip and says, Jennifer's evil. He's like, "I know, no, I mean actual evil, not high school evil." And there's a fight after this prom dance or social or homecoming or whatever the fuck kind of dance it is. There's this dilapidated pool, not with a dilapidated boat. Shout out to the people that get that. And Chip ends up dying, and Needy tries to get at Jennifer, but she gets away and then ends up killing her on her bed later and gets put in this institution. But oh wait, Needy has powers because she got bit. And we have a sequel hook, possibly, because she gets in the car with Lance Henriksen, and if you know that, Pumpkinhead and many other horror movies, she goes to find the band Low Shoulder. This is going to be their last show, and she ends up killing them while they're on tour, staying in their hotel room, and we get to see that throughout the entire credits and stuff like that. My main thing about this movie is it seemed like they were going to go with a sequel, and they never did, and I was a little bit disappointed by that, because I really enjoyed this. I will admit, it is not a great movie. It is silly, it's dumb, but you know what? Sometimes you just need something really dumb, really stupid, And I really enjoyed this movie, so I would love to know what you guys think in the comments, because does the movie hold up? It's 11 years old. Yes, it holds up. If this movie came out in 99, I would wonder about that. Also, want to let you guys know that at some point, maybe this week, I will be doing the Scream movies, all 4 of the Scream movies, and reviewing those. So that's going to be a bit of a review. And at some point, I'm going to get Annabelle Comes Home and Curse of La Llorona, and I'm going to talk about all the Conjuring movies and do maybe a 2-part thing about all those movies. So let me know what you guys thought of this review in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of Jennifer's Body. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rittland. I'll see you soon.